guys? We are back again. It's another week of the RP Show live. And Steve, we missed out last week. We talked about, all this crazy stuff I was doing and all that stuff. Uh, which then morphed into Meta Glasses conversation. And I know you had an awesome thing because you went out, with your people from The Hunted.
Oh
So
yeah,
you should
yeah.
catch people up on your little dinner that you got to do.
Okay, so I'll kick things off then for this week. So first of all, for anybody watching this back, I was on a TV reality show, not a huge one, like a small TV reality show called Hunted, um, which has been going for about 10 years, and funnily enough, great time in this, Mike, because right now is Celebrity Hunted. So it's the same
Ah.
show with the same people, but it's got a load of quote unquote celebrities that I've never heard of.
And you said like
Anyway,
yeah, it's like we would consider them D-list celebrities in
exactly.
America. Yeah.
Yeah. Or some of them I actually know.
Okay.
There's like a what would you call it? He's like a game show host who's quite
Oh,
famous because
okay.
he's
All right.
been around for like ever. So he's on there, I think, with his daughter or his son or something. So
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
the celebrity one's right is on right now. But interestingly, that was filmed back to back alongside ours. So we finished filming on the Saturday, and they started filming the celebrity one on the Monday, and our season aired in October, and their season only just started airing like this week.
Hmm.
Um, but aside from that, um, the event that Mike is referring to is last weekend. I myself and my co-star Chris Judge, who was my guide whilst we were on the run, we went down to the southwest of the UK to meet up with two other fugitives. Um, and out of all the other fugitives, I guess they were the ones that we connected with the most because prior to filming, when we were in the hotel, um, they were a bit like us, similar humour, two guys, two good mates, but from a total different walk of life. They're both farmers, so they were out there representing the farming community. So it's really cool getting to meet those guys, and you obviously get to meet at the very beginning, but only very briefly while you're doing health and safety training and camera training and all that stuff. Whilst you're on the run, obviously they're the enemy because we're all
Yeah, that's
trying to
right.
get to you don't want to be making, friends because they literally are your competition. Um, but now it's all over. They invited us down to come and meet up with them, and they pulled a bit of a sneaky fast one on us that we didn't know about. So for anyone that's not seen season 8, one of the things these two cheeky farmers did was they faked a bit of a location, which led the hunters to thinking they were going to be at a certain place at a certain time, and it was in their hometown, and it was on like a boardwalk, like a pier or a jetty, like a really big jetty, like pier type thing. And they had managed to talk two other people to wear the same clothes and similar backpacks and baseball caps to go to this location at a certain time, and the hunters fell for it. So um they sent a couple of teams down there to go and hopefully catch them. But all along, they were in a friend's apartment that overlooked the harbour and this jetty, and they watched like the whole thing unfold. And they pulled like a big fast one and made the hunters look pretty stupid. Um, so they because we don't know them and know where they live, and we're all like separate. So they said, wouldn't it be funny if we meet up at that exact location where we did the famous like decoy? So we looked online and we found a camping site, a campground right in the town. Because it's quite a touristy town. There's a lot of it's like a seaside town, so there's lots of hotels and bars and restaurants and a bit of a harbour and stuff. So loads of cool places to stay. And we decided to stay at a camping ground nearby. So we went and we were due to meet them at 7:30 in the evening. And on our way to the pier, walking along, so it was myself, my co-star Chris Judge, and our two wives. And as we're walking along, one of the hunters um, jumped out right in front of us and was like, "What are you doing here?" And we were like, and I didn't even recognize him. I was like, you know, this big muscly dude just jumps out of the pavement you know, right in front of us. Well, what are you doing here? And he's a guy called Steve Bigsy. He's retired police officer. And he now does, I think, motivational speaking, and he's on the TV show and stuff. And we were like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Well, I heard you guys were getting together, so it's only a 150-mile drive, so I thought I'd make the 300-mile round trip just to come and hang out and have a few beers with you guys. I never got to meet you in real life during the show, so I thought I'd come down and see you guys." And we were like, "Oh, no way, this is so cool." And so we're on our way to go and meet Robin Frampo. He said, "Yeah, I know you're meeting him on the pier, aren't you?" And we're like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "Because I'm a hunter. I know everything." So I was like, pretty cool. And anyway, we walked down to the pier, and there's Robin Frampo. And what we didn't know was they'd actually contacted HQ, and they had Ray Howard, who was the Chief Inspector of Thames Valley Metropolitan Police Force. He's like retired now, but he's on the TV show. And he's like in the show. You probably recognize him, Tubes, because you watched a bit of it, didn't you? So
Yeah, yes, I did. Yep.
He was the guy that delivers all the one-liners, the cheesy one-liners, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
goes to a slipperier than eel,
Yeah,
covered in
yeah,
oil,
yeah.
la 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 la. So that was him. That does all the cheesy one-liners, and him and his wife had come along to meet us. So we got to that pier, and we had Ray and his lovely wife, and Steve Biggsy, one of the hunters, and we all went out for dinner, had some nice food. We were swapping stories, and it was just really great because
That's
getting
awesome.
to hear it from their point of view, and they were asking some questions because even though it's now finished, they only know bits and pieces from their investigations, so they still were like, "So on this day, how did you get from there to there? Because we found you here, but we didn't know like how you got from like
Oh right, yeah, because they're not
you
seeing.
know, we saw you at A, we found you again at D. Like, how did you get to W? Like we're missing out steps like B, C, E, F, G. We just because they only get like fragments of piecing it
Yeah,
together. So
that's hilarious.
it was really really cool. Just hanging out really and chatting. We're talking about the celebrity one and they were like, "Oh, we can't really say anything 'cause it's not on TV till next week. But you'll have to watch it and see how it goes." And they said like, celebrities weren't as good as you guys because they're all celebrities and got contracts and stuff. So they said the civilian one is a lot more fun.
Some
So
of them
yeah,
have, and they have money. Some of them have money, so they don't have to
mm,
really worry about it's great going.
yeah.
They're not really worried
Um,
about when.
so yeah, it was great. I mean, it just brought back all the memories of being on a TV show and all that fun that brought for me, my family.
Yeah, but you weren't you were saying it's
Everybody
like
else.
different though? Like it's like now that you've been behind the curtain,
Yes,
now watching it is like so different.
yeah, it is now because I know some of the things in the background that go on. Um, some of the stuff I still to this day I've signed a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't talk about some stuff. But
Yeah, right.
I do know. It's even things like I know like on the show when you get in a getaway vehicle and got to get a lift off like a stranger or something. What you don't see on the show is in the background, the TV company are running checks on that vehicle to make sure that it's insured, the driver has a license. Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to do anything illegal, and you're also not allowed to be at risk because if you get killed because you're in some kind of vehicle that's you know
Oh, it's
not
like yeah,
fit or whatever, you
yeah.
know what I mean? So and it's funny because I have a bit more. I used to think it was a bit cheesy, but now because I've done it, I have a bit more respect for it. Because I'm like, "Oh man, why wouldn't you just like jump over the barrier and run off?" And it's like, well, because in
Yeah,
real
because
life,
yeah.
you're not actually allowed to break any laws. You couldn't just like jump on a tube without paying or anything. Like, but in real life, if you was a criminal, you wouldn't be waiting in a queue to get a ticket,
Well,
would
it's
you?
like when was it like when you went to that really sketchy camping area and they had to get permission and they had to send out like a
Oh yeah,
security guard and all that jazz.
yeah. So, because at the
Like
end
you
of the
couldn't
day,
just go, you know.
end of the day, it's a reality TV show, and it was like
Yeah, say some rules.
like an actual criminal would be stealing clothes off people's washing
Oh
lines.
yeah, yeah, right, exactly.
But you
Every,
just got told you couldn't. And they're like, if you're running away from the hunters, they're like, you can't push over a grandma and break her hip trying to
yeah.
get away. You're just like, I just
Well,
can't.
that's like if, like you said, every interaction, whether it's like when you go into the hotel or go wherever you go, if it's on TV, those people are already signed. Like
Yep,
those people signed an agreement to be
yeah,
on TV. Yeah, it's
yeah. Or
like
even like just after the event, obviously they have to say to them, right, we've been filming. Are we allowed to use your? And if they say no, you're not allowed to use my face
Then you gotta
to
blur them
sign
out,
on.
right, or whatever, right?
Then
Yeah,
you either
usually.
got to blur them out or take it out.
Or yeah. Oh, by the way, Wonder is on. He says, "Hey,
Yeah.
people,
Hey, he's back.
what's up, man? How's
Yeah.
everything going over there?"
Yeah, filming Hunted was amazing. What's really cool now is for anybody that didn't get to see me on Hunted season 8, the UK TV reality show, they've now put it on their YouTube channel. So
Oh, so you
now
can just go.
everybody can watch it. Whereas
Yeah,
it
you know the
originally it only aired in the UK.
yeah, I
So
get my VPN. That's the reason why I still have a VPN right now.
hmm.
It's because of you. Because I was like, oh, I gotta. I was like, let me get a VPN so I could, pretend I'm in England so I can get Channel 4 and watch that. That was cool. So yeah,
Yeah,
no,
so that was
that's
last weekend. That was
yeah.
pretty cool. And then what else have I been up to? I'm trying to think what else we missed out on for
Well, I think
my
you guys are.
holiday.
I know you guys were back. Oh, I know you've been in the office a couple times. Oh, you were showing that. You were showing like you were alone in the office for a moment. And we got to see
Yeah,
kind of
so
what you do.
that's been pretty cool. I mean, obviously started a new job, learning a new Zoom and Reader software, which has been, interesting. And from time to time now, I'm having to go into the office, which is not ideal. I used to like working remote, but now I've got to go in the office 2 days a week. Well, 1 day a week at the moment. Um, but the good thing is, it's done quite a lot for my independence because now I'm having to commute and travel, and I'm mostly using the well, I'm purely exclusively using the train network to get
Hmm.
around. Um, Tomorrow I should have been going to London, which would have been a 20 past 6 train, so 6:20 a.m. train. So I'd need to be at that station for maybe 6:10, 6:15 at the latest. Um, and then that would get me into London for 8:30 a.m. And then I was going to be getting a taxi to the office to try and get there for around 9. And then I would have been leaving the office at about 4 and getting back up to the northwest for about 6 p.m. ish. Um, and I was kind of looking forward to it because, like, going all the way down to London on my own, using the passenger assistance crews and all the people, I'm getting pretty good at that now. Um, and on the train, it's fantastic. I mean, the airlines need to try and catch up to the train network because the special assistance on the railway network is amazing. They've got their own app, and the app doesn't do anything else other than organize your special assist. So
Oh, that's beautiful.
it's beautiful. You go on there, it's got my picture, it's got what my disability is, and there's options like have you got a guide dog, have you got a sighted guide, all these things. And on mine, I've just got I need sighted guidance, I need help finding my seat, and I need help transferring trains if I have to change.
Yeah.
And when I book my travel, I just go in the passenger assistance app, put what train I'm on, click send, and it comes back to say, right, your special assistance has been organised. And then they sort that out themselves throughout every leg of my journey. So when I get to the station, there's somebody there, they're waiting for me, they know my name. They're like, oh, Steve Johnson, you ready for blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me. They take me up to the right platform, they put me on the train, they find me a seat. When I get to wherever I'm going, the person or even the conductor, they know I'm there, they know who I am, they know what my disability is. They hand me over to the next place,
Hmm.
and then they will like walk me or put me in one of them little buggy things,
Yeah, head buggy. Yeah.
the wheelchair things. They don't so
Yeah.
much use
Yeah.
the wheelchairs in the big stations. It's so cool. Like in Euston Station, which is a massive, massive, mega busy. It's got the underground. It's a bit like Central Station. There's the underground.
Okay.
You've got the overground. Like the subway and the overrail. It's all mashed into one. It's a nightmare for us visually impaired people. So busy. But when I arrive there, they always put me in like a little golf buggy.
Hmm.
So I like
That's
I
good.
feel literally like a VIP. Like
Yeah,
I'm in
he's
like
just scooting off. Yeah.
everyone else is walking. I'm just there, my private little golf buggy, like Donald Trump on a golf course. I'm just like, oh, wee, all right, see you later. Going through all the
Uh,
crowds with my little, my special valet service all the way to the special. It's brilliant. The passenger assist. So I guess what I'm saying is, as a legally blind person, having to now commute with my cane on trains and stuff, can be quite tricky. But now because I'm doing it a lot, I just feel like my independence has gone up again.
It's good.
It's I've done it obviously, as I've flown internationally on my own
Oh
a
yeah.
couple of times using the assistants, but that's like every once in a while, not every single
Yeah,
Thursday
this is a
night. This
different,
is
right,
like I'm
kind
like,
of
getting like I'm so used to it. So yeah, that's been really cool. Really, really good. And
nice.
then upcoming, I'm away again this weekend. So as soon as I get off this call tonight, I will be packing some clothes, packing a bag, and we're heading off out to the countryside in the camper van. We are having the best summer ever in the UK at the moment.
I know you keep showing me pictures, and I'm like, there's blue skies like
Mm.
in August in the UK.
Yep, we broke all the records this year. We've had it's been 35 degrees in May, June, and July. I think for the first time in history. I mean, the bad side is that's obviously global warming massively taking an effect now, and some people still think it's not a thing, but like if you live in the UK, you're kind of like, we're
I'm
not
a
that.
climate shift guy, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I believe
it,
things
it,
could shift, so maybe like over time, weather changes and patterns change. So that's
yeah,
just
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, we
But it
can
could
vouch
be.
for
I
that.
mean,
We can
it could be
vouch for that
different.
over here because like it's the weather
Yeah.
here now. I mean, we're a small island, not
Right.
that far from the Arctic Circle, really, only like 700 miles from the
Okay.
Arctic, and it's dramatically changed here.
Wow. Oh, Wonder says it's still summer in Sweden. No fires, so all good.
Wow, yeah, yeah, they're good. That is good because there's been a lot of fires on the continent in Europe,
And
Greece,
we get
Spain,
Canada, and we got
Italy.
Canada has fires over here, and we get we experience their fires.
Yeah, that's wild. You guys can sometimes see it in the sky, can't you? And the
Yeah,
smoke.
we can't go outside sometime. Well, I was biking in that, like when it was like, oh, by the way, it's like uh
Oh,
the
really?
conditions outside,
You are not that far from Canada. People might
No,
not realize
if
because
when there's
America's so big, but you won't
yeah.
realize your
No,
bike's
when
not
there
far from Canada,
was
eh?
when there was fires in Canada, we were getting the smoke. Like I was at the BMX track that time at Falcon, and I was practicing out there, and yeah, there was. I mean, I couldn't totally. I was joking with them. I was like, "Oh, I thought that was I thought that was my vision. That's why it was smoky." Or so, but then no, I was outside even during the week. It was like when everyone's like, it's like the air quality. There was an air quality alert, and I was out riding because of yeah all the fires. Yeah, so that happened last year I think too. Same thing. When
Yeah, I
Canada had
remember.
fires, like yeah, we could. It was like we were getting impacted from it. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, no fires is that's a good.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this weekend, getting off in the camper van with the little dog and the wife, off out into the wilderness, into the forest,
Spending your time, as we always say.
spending my time. So
Even
looking
though,
forward.
yeah, I feel like yeah, I say every weekend. I feel like so far, yeah, you guys been yeah doing pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's the advantage of having a job and and
Yeah, yeah,
having a little house in it, like my dad. Because I grew up poor in a rough neighborhood,
yeah,
and as we progressed throughout life and stuff, and started to get my dad got a better job and my mum got a job, and we moved out of our neighborhood into a better neighborhood and all that sort of stuff. And one of the things my dad always told me, which is I've always remembered, right, when I was maybe 15, 16, and thinking about going to college and getting a job and earning money and getting a house and a wife and all that. One of the things my dad said to me was, you need to realize quite early on that you can either have a big house or a big life. And
yeah,
he
I like
said,
that. Yeah, I like
no
that.
matter what you do, he said, I'll only be disappointed if you build a life that is basically a prison. So if
Yeah,
you end
F
up with
that.
no
Yeah.
money, living paycheck to paycheck, you can't go anywhere and do anything, he said, no matter what you do, so that's the number one thing I'll be disappointed in. So I don't care if you're a doctor, a bin man, a painter
That's
and decorator, but the main thing is
that's what I
don't
want to change. Yeah.
box yourself in.
And yeah,
So,
that's what I want to
he said,
change too. Yeah.
he's like, even
Absolutely.
if you're on minimum wage, he's like, you don't need big screen TVs, you don't need designer clothes. He said, you need disposable income. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're out doing something.
Right,
You've
right.
got you've got the means to travel, the means to party, the means to play. And it's funny because, I see some of my friends, a couple of my friends, right, earn really like double what I earn, and their partners earn double what my wife earns. So, some of them like got 4 times the income that we have. However, they've got Mercedes Benz, they've got like a
Oh,
big,
yeah.
massive house, and then they're like, well, we can only afford one vacation this year, and we're probably going to go for just 2 weeks. And I'm like, man, I'll have had like 4 separate vacations like
Yeah.
before you go to that, and I earn like a fraction of what you earn, like, but I have a little house, not particularly fancy, and
Right,
don't really
right.
buy designer clothes
Yeah,
or
same. Right. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, me neither. I don't
you know what I
really.
mean. I have a humble life. I do need to get a new kitchen at some point, though. I must admit, it is literally starting. I like a cupboard fell off the other day, and I was
Oh.
thinking, I mean, maybe we should do some home improvements, maybe sometime soon.
Yeah, but no,
But
no, yeah,
it's
your place is like I like if I lived in England, that'd be perfect. Like I like
yeah,
the just enough.
it's just very small compared to like what a lot of our
Yeah.
friends have
I
got. You
like
know
the
what I mean?
yard. That's a manageable yard. You got, you got the governor. And yeah, you got just to me that would be perfect for someone with like art
Hey, the
people.
governor's from Sweden, so wonder. I've got some Swedish pine in my yard, in my garden. A nice timber frame structure.
I don't have
So,
anything Swedish, but my BMX bike is from France.
oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's a French company. Yeah, that makes
No way.
the Inspire. Yeah, it's a French company.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so too bad they lost in the World Cup. They didn't make it to the World Cup.
Mm.
I still say it's because the company didn't take me on as a sponsor. I emailed them because Vinny was like, you should like email them because like their company's name is Inspire and you're inspiring people by, I was like, oh yeah, it's a good union, and
That's a good angle.
I
Yeah,
did like email them and they're just like, oh, we can't, right now we're not taking on any new, writers or whatever, something like that. So I was like, see, it's now I jinxed you. You guys didn't win, you didn't make it to the World Cup.
no way.
Yeah, no. So all right, so is that so? I guess I'll chime in now with
Yep. What's
what
going
I
on?
got
What's up?
going on. One I know. Recently I just heard from Jimmy from Fox 61. That's the he was doing the news story, covering my the event, the Low Vision BMX racing event that I was talking about last week. And so he texted me and he just wanted to get kind of get some he just give me a heads up when it was going to air, next couple weeks or so, and he just wanted
Awesome.
some extra information like, okay, were the racers there just racers, were they racers and guides, were they, what were they, so I clarified all that, but it kind of led me to like it spiraled something extra because I was talking to him and I was basically saying, well, given what I kind of envision for what low vision BMX racing will become, like what I want it to become, and it was like, and I realized that not only having people being at the track experiencing, the glasses and, putting on simulation glasses that simulate different eye conditions, does it help them understand, like, oh, wow, this is what this is how you do it? Like, it also could be a tool to train future guides because now they could wear those glasses, go on the track and go, oh, like, I couldn't see this, and this, and like, so they know now when they're out with other riders like myself, they'll know exactly the things to call out and, and be able to help even better because they can literally, wear the glasses to train them. So I was like, that's great. And then I thought, taking what I've learned as an Achilles International athlete, taking the same concept as them, whereas, there's an Achilles International chapter they're all over the world, hence international, Achilles International. They're literally, there's a Brazil chapter, there's all that Achilles is everywhere. So it would be cool to have a website set up where it's, lowvisionbmxracing.com, and you just go there, you click on chapters, and there would be chapters, throughout the United States. There could be chapters in Canada, chapters in here, wherever. And you could be like, hey, I want to get into BMX racing, and I have low vision. So you go on there. I wonder if there's a chapter nearby. And then you click on that and boom. Oh, wow. like say John over in, in Los Angeles, California is like, oh, I want to do this. He clicks it. Oh, there's an LA chapter. Contacts the LA chapter. LA chapter sends them, his race jersey and all his swag, and then he fills out his profile describing what he has, what eye condition, what he's going to require, blah blah blah, and then they we would also have a database of guides. And then
Hmm.
he'd be like, okay, who's perfect for you? Steve is a perfect guide for you. You guys are going to meet up at this is the track closest to you. And hopefully at that point in time, with Chris Gombos, my track operators help, and other track operators, we can standardize that the markings on the track, have USA BMX be like, hey, you have to make these, here's the template. All tracks need these markings. So now you just go to any track and it's already adaptive for you. So now him and Steve can go work out together and start practicing. And
Nice.
then that can evolve into, now if that rider wants to say, hey, well, now I'm getting comfortable, I want to race. Now he has the option to either race like I do with other sighted people, or we'll actually have our own low vision BMX racing moto that will be just added onto every race. So you could just, if you don't want to be with sighted people, but you want to race with a guide, you can go in this moto. All the bikes could be allowed to have beep devices, and could all be set up for low vision riders. Even I could still participate, like I could still do my regular motos, do my class, my cruiser, and then I could participate also in low vision BMX racing and
Hmm.
do that with them. And maybe I won't have a guide, or maybe maybe I will use a guide, just to for it, just to show what's up, but like it's another option. And then also maybe for the athletes that are like, wow, I don't really want to race, but I do love doing laps. I love this. It's a different form of exercise and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, they could just do like, we can offer clinics and things like that. Or they could just contact their guide and be like, hey, are you available? Like I'd like to go to the track, and they could just start building that rapport, and then just do laps and do hot laps at the track if they want. And, you know, and I'd like to run clinics at my track, like where I run it, and with my guide, Michael Taylor, because he's worked a lot with me as a teammate and stuff. So it'd be cool. People could come down, learn what it's like to be a guide from him, and then other athletes could come out with me, and I can work with them in terms of teaching them what I've learned, from doing it, and what to rely on and what not to rely on, and stuff like that. So we can just run like weekly clinics or whatever. But yeah, I come up with all this stuff. I was like, how it could develop into like this much more huger thing. And I was telling Chris Gombos about it. I was telling Lisa over at FFB about it, and she loved that. And I was like, you guys, that was just like FFB. They have chapters right all over.
Hmm.
So it's the same idea. Just have people who can run their own, like, so and so, like my friend Ben Snow, who thinks, he's in Oregon. He's one of my teammates. He could start his own chapter, his own low vision BMX chapter. Like mine would be his headquarters, because I'm the founder in Connecticut. So that's where the headquarters would be. But like everybody in every state and whatever area could decide, hey, I'm going to start my own chapter, and then they could just be added to this website, and it just become global. So no matter where and then it gets to a point where, okay, let's say I go traveling to like, I don't know, Michigan or whatever, or I'm going to go to a BMX track outside of Connecticut. Now I can contact that chapter, and I can say, hey, I'm going to be over, I don't know, whatever BMX. Could you send a guide out? Just so I want to
Hmm.
just like, just to kind of prep myself for the track before I race. And they'd be like, yeah, sure. It's like, it would just have like, it would be great to have this
Hmm.
resource. And then I thought about it also as kind of combining with something. We have something over here which is now combined with Achilles. Now it's actually integrated, which was, it used to be its own platform. It was called United in Stride, and I called it the Tinder for blind runners because it's like you literally have a profile, like a dating profile, like a profile, that I'm, Mike T-Bag. I do marathons, I do this, and here's, here's all about me, and this is what I have. And then other people can go on, sign up as guides for runners like us. And then like say one day I'm just like, oh, this Sunday I really need to do a long run. I need to do 14 miles. Okay, I go on United in Stride. I put a search parameter of I'm looking for a guide who's about 5 miles away from me. I'm looking to do 14 miles. Let's see what pops up. You search, it'll be like, okay, oh, there's like 3 people, let's say 3 or 4 people that are in my area. Okay, oh, this guy looks cool, or this woman looks cool. Boom, click on them, send them a message, say, hey, here's what I'm looking to do. Would you be interested to help me out? And there you go. So it'd be kind of cool to even have that in general too. Like you just, anytime you want to go out to the BMX track, you could just do the same thing. You could just find people who are within your area that are, signed up to be BMX racing, like guides, and just get together. They pick you up, take you out to the track, and because that's obviously another struggle that I always talk about. Saying is getting to the tracks is the hardest thing. But if you have people that are in this, system that already are saying, hey, we want to guide you, like we want to help you out. So now you don't feel like you're a burden, because that's why they signed up for this whole thing anyway. Is to know, they know that when they signed up for this, that you're gonna have to pick up this athlete, bring their bike, and help them get to the track to do these practices, and you don't feel like you're bothering somebody or being a burden.
Cool.
So
Okay.
that's one idea. So that's one thing that's been going on. And then the other thing is, obviously you guys know that I had reached out to the Blind Institute of Technology, because our good friend Eric Bernardo in our group.
I don't think we have talked about this on the show
We
yet.
haven't actually covered this yet, guys. Actually, that's right. You're right. I got a message from Eric Bernardo, our friend, and our, he's our, a bro in our little lads chat. He sent me a message on LinkedIn that Blind Institute of Technology was looking for people, for their Career Chasers program 2026. And so I was like, I was like, oh, let me check this out. And basically it's for an opportunity to be a Salesforce administrator and get certified in their program. So I was like, all right, well, couldn't hurt, right? So boom. And it's free schooling, all that stuff. So I've at the process now where I've already done my interviews, and I did, I submitted my documentation proving that I'm disabled, because it's a free program. They need to verify that I am in fact visually impaired. But yeah, so now I'm at the assessment point, which is I signed up for the Intro to Salesforce course, and I'm about to I'm fully set up now. I spent the other day, like, you have to sign up for like you need your own Trailhead account, which Trailhead I've learned is basically Salesforce's training
That training platform, isn't
fun
it?
platform. Like, because it's not connected to any, it's not like really Salesforce, but it has all the functions of Salesforce, but you're not going to ruin some companies' stuff, so you can literally set up what they call playgrounds. And so I have 3 playgrounds. So I have one playground where I do my homework, one is for assessment, and then I have a third playground which is just for practice, so I can just like fuck around and whatever and just do whatever I want to do.
So let me just pause you there then. So how, if anyone's watching this back, and they're thinking, oh, maybe is that something I could do, or maybe they've just come out of work and they want to get back into work, like, how would you rate the process so far?
Oh, so far really great, really easy. Filling out the application for the Blind Institute of Technology, that was really, really easy. Nothing.
So you like a online application, then
mostly first they just
phone call, or
after first it was like a form you filled out to show your interest and all that stuff, and after you fill that out, then someone reaches out to you, and then you talk to them, and they kind of give you the introductory of what it's all about to see if you're interested. And after that, if you're interested, they follow up and kind of give you there's a couple documents you got to sign. Like I said, then you send out your you actually apply for the actual like course you put in for that, and then there's like, once you do kind of do that, there's like before that, there's an interview. I did the final interview was, kind of, here's what's up, the full more in detail. They want to get to know you. They want to know like a background, because even then the woman in the interview, because it's kind of like a job interview essentially, and she was asking me questions, and even that BMX racing came up with that. She was blown away by that. So now it ended up her being like, oh my God, she's like, I'm involved with FFB as well. Like, we're good friends with them in Colorado. She's like, send me that information. Send me that stuff. That sounds incredible. All because one of the questions in the interview was, what's something new that you have learned or you've been doing this like in the past year? I was like, well, and now it's kind of like, I've been doing BMX racing. I stepped out of my comfort zone and really started taking on this. She's like, what? She's like, I've never known anybody with the air condition to do that, and so she was like super intrigued. So that was kind of cool to have just even that brought up. But she like loved the interview was great. It's probably one of the best interviews I've ever had because I felt very confident about what I was saying, and I just answered everything pretty much honestly, and actually kind of remembered a lot of stuff that you told me, which like because she was like applying the skills. She'd be like, okay, in this scenario, like, when have you ever had to deal with like some situation? And I was like, and I thought, and I'm like, well, I've never been. It's been a while since I've been in the works field, but I did like, oh, in spin class, I've had Andy, he's come, he suggested making some changes, and I'm very open to making changes if someone does this, and so I kind of was like reminding myself of, even though sometimes I'm like, oh, well, I don't do customer service. Well, actually, yeah, that is a customer service thing. It's like, oh yeah,
Looking for
because
transferable examples,
yeah. So the
basically.
questions she
Yeah,
would ask me, I was like, I'm like, oh, what's a situation that I've dealt with that would compare with what she's asking? And I'm thinking about my most recent stuff is mostly spin class, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, actually. Or I would go back to my old job and say, well, I've also, I was like, oh, I've actually, at my last job, I have had to deal with being multiple different departments at the same time. So I'm very good at multitasking and very good about having to, do this. And so it's kind of cool to like, yeah, I already had kind of like, I felt confident in my answers for once, where before, I feel like sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like I'm like answering it right. Or she just loved it. Although in a way, I was kind of ahead on things because she got stuck in traffic and I was like on time. It was a Google meeting, a Google Meet. And I was like, I was ready. I was on like a couple minutes early, made sure I was ready to roll. And I'm like waiting. It's like it's not starting. It's not starting. No one's joining in. I'm the only person. I'm like, am I early? Am I in the wrong time zone? What? So it gets like it's almost like 30 minutes. I was like, I'm just gonna stay until so I emailed too, and I was like, hey, I got on at this time. I've been kind of waiting. I'll wait and I'll continue to wait. And so yeah, it turns out she's like she was stuck in the traffic and she ended up getting on like it was like basically like 30 minutes after when it was supposed to start. And she was already like, oh my God, thank you so much for being so patient and waiting. And so I kind of already had like I felt like I was already showing, oh wow, this guy like he didn't just jet off. He's patient. He was so I was already felt confident going into it because she was already like kind of
yeah.
like apologetic to me,
So,
and
so when do you find out if you've been accepted then?
I said you first. So now I'm in the assessment program. So I'm doing the course, which is like it could be the course can be completed at your own speed.
Ah, that's
Um,
cool.
so I mean, I'm just kind of trying to discipline myself. I really wanted to get started yesterday, but didn't. Evan, I'm dealing with distractions at my own house. So I'm trying to get back into a flow where I can learn and without distractions. So each module is about like 50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes or so. Um, there's the whole course is like, I think from what I see is like 3 lessons. And then there's a final like homework and assessment at the end and like an interview. But total, they said it could take up to 4 weeks, but like she says, I'll probably finish it sooner. But it's about like 9 modules or
If
something
you
like
put in
this.
the work, you will.
Yeah, so it could be I could do 2 modules a day if I want, whatever I do.
Mm.
But basically, yeah, at the end of this, because the assessment is to be like, as the first guy I talked to, Mike, he was like, the assessment is basically to see how serious you are, if you really want to do this,
Yeah,
So if you make it through this, so when I make it through this, then I could get accepted into the actual program. It's a
yeah, yeah.
17-week program.
'Cause
It's
I tell you now, right? Because I've done things like this myself, and like half the people won't finish that 4 week course. They'll get
That's what's crazy I think
distracted.
about.
They
Yeah,
won't do it. Whereas, like, I'd have that 4 week course. I'd have that done in 3 days. I would just be on my computer.
that's what I want to
Eh,
do. I want to hammer down, but
I,
like I'm just trying to when you're so used to like I already have certain things I already do right now. So, and I do have the free time. I know where to put it. So it's just getting myself, since I've been so out of work, like you're used to like, you
discipline.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, the work of that, being that like I have workout discipline. I have like even doing this discipline, like there's other disciplines I have that I'm good at. But since I'm not and discipline, obviously going to spin class and teaching and all this kind of stuff. But I've been out of the work in school for so long, I have to like get back into
Reteach yourself.
that,
Yeah, yeah,
get back into that
yeah,
discipline, you know. So
yeah.
I know I'll do it. It's just you know, and I was already like I was so overwhelmed. I will tell people, guys, it was very overwhelming to do like just the introductory stuff, just getting your, you know, so get the trailhead account set up, and then getting your playground set up, and then getting your
None of that's particularly nice, is it? It's
no, then
so,
getting the workforce, you have
ah,
to do like a
God.
workforce navigator account, and you got to
Yeah,
sign up for
yeah.
a private group. Like, I mean, it's very step by step. It's very, they give you all the information and all that stuff. And then you're dealing with like your eyes, you know, are getting tired because you have to like, you know, do this. And I'm doing mostly all on a phone right now, but I want to start, I'm going to get my computer set up more, and I'm going to move it actually over so I have a little bit more room, and get it more learning friendly for myself, and so I could be less distracted. Um, but yeah, like so that's the beautiful thing is I like the fact that it's not like, you know, oh, you have to be on this time and this and stuff like that.
Mm.
Whereas I think the program is the 17-week program. It's like I think the schooling is like I think it's Thursdays and Fridays. It's 2 classes a week, and it's on Thursdays and Fridays. I asked her when it
Wow.
was, but I don't know if it's because I asked her, I did ask her in the interview if it was like flexible, or, you know, was it something that, you know, their set times and things like that, you know. So I don't know if I don't, she has to get back to me on that. But yeah, other than that, like it's been like I said, if you're somebody like that hasn't worked in a long time, yeah, it's a bit
It's kind of good though, because
you
when you get
know,
through all of that,
yeah,
because you imagine if you just got a job on
yeah.
Monday,
Okay.
you'd be like total shock to the system because you'd just be now committed
Oh
to it.
yeah, right. That'd be crazier. Yeah, right.
Whereas this will kind of like, yes, you'll be learning, but also it will be acclimating you back to being restricted
Yeah, that's
at
the
the
idea.
time.
The way they do this program, the way they do the assessment, it's actually treated like you're a real Salesforce administrator. They kind of have it.
Wow, that's
That's
pretty
what they
cool.
get.
That's
That's why
really
you're
cool.
able to have the, you know, trailhead, whereas you could pretend you're okay. Here's the company that you're working with. You are now a junior. You're a junior Salesforce administrator, and you're helping this company. Like I think the first one's like BetterHelp or whatever. That was the company that we're using for example. And
Yeah,
that's where I'm at right now. And then yeah, so I have to kind of do that. So it's like you do a couple module videos, and then you have to. I think there's like homework, and then you just kind of truck through each. You know, do it like that.
yeah.
But yeah, some people
I
that and
mean,
they said, well,
it's quite lucky because I know a lot about Salesforce. Like, I have employed Salesforce administrators, um, and obviously the next level up, the config guys, that do like the payment apps and those little bits, and then the API keys and stuff. So I've got
right,
extensive Salesforce knowledge, but I could not do it like myself, if you know what I mean, because I had
right,
people on the team that would do
right.
that sort of stuff. Um, I mean, we probably had maybe 150 staff that were Salesforce trained.
That's just crazy.
We had,
Oh, and it's very RP friendly because it's like they said they practically invented dark mode. Like that's yeah. So they said it's very so for
well, that
anybody, you
depends.
know,
That depends. Well, yeah, I mean that's semi-true. It
that's what
depends
they
on
were
the
saying to me. Like
company.
they were saying it's
Yeah.
very accessible. It's
So,
something that, you know.
so at my company, everything was white because
Oh, was it?
it
Oh,
was
okay.
on brand. Because obviously the good thing about it is you can customize it for that company. So if that
Yeah.
company wants to use it for like a contact center, then
Yeah.
it'll be like done in their colors and their
Yeah.
stuff
Right.
and all
Right.
the rest
Right.
of it. But it's such a deep ecosystem because one of my friends, he became a Salesforce business analyst, and then he went on from that to be a what was called a Salesforce architect. So that is like way high up in the food chain. And like
Hmm.
companies literally fly him out to like Dubai to
That's what
come
nuts.
and come and do like massive Salesforce architecture, because if you've got a massive corporation with sites all over the world and
Right.
20,000 staff, and Salesforce is your main system that manages your customers, your payments, your billing platforms, your invoices, your customer service teams, um, and then you've got other companies that can plug into it. It's a huge ecosystem.
I wish we had that back. I remember we struggled so hardcore with that one of my last job. They were because they're saying how a lot of companies have, you know, customer service is using this platform, and then this one doesn't talk to this one, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I remember we had that issue. I mean, we're the art department, and you know, and they're trying to, I don't know, they had this one system that sucked, and then they developed this new one that was supposed to be like better and to handle customers and orders and all that
Well,
kind of stuff, and that didn't work well.
I could give you some real good examples, right? And this will be good for people listening because anyone listening to this, I've got no idea what Mike and I are talking about. And so one of the projects I worked on, it was a Salesforce project, and it was called Email to Case, and it was
Okay.
really simple. We had it was a business to business company, so we had businesses that would email our business to say, we've got a customer and they need this and this technology setting up, and that's kind of like that would be it, right? And we'd get like, I don't know, maybe we'd get 3,000 emails an hour because it's a massive corporation, right? 3,000 emails. Now, back in the day when we first started, you would have huge teams of people working that email box responding to customers.
Right.
But when Salesforce brought out email to case, basically what would happen is the staff would never see an email. So you'd email in to the company to say, oh, this product's broken or whatever, but the member of staff would never see an email. All that would happen is you may have, a team of 500 people, maybe 10 people on each team, multiple managers. They would just be in Salesforce and they'd have a load of cases, and Salesforce could be programmed by our Salesforce team in-house, our Salesforce admins, our Salesforce app developers, to say, right, when these emails come in, all the ones that are about a payment, put in this queue, and all the ones that are due to be paid this
Yeah,
day,
that's
put in
smart.
that
Yeah,
queue.
that's, yeah, right.
And
That's
then the
right.
managers could see like what the oldest case was. So then an agent who was sat on their desk, they come in the morning at 9 o'clock, they log on to Salesforce, and they're supposed to be replying to emails all day, and they would just click a button called Get Next. But the smart thing about Salesforce is out of them 5,000 emails an hour, it had different rules and logic to go, right, well, this is the next email that this person should be working because it's about a delivery that's due today.
Oh, like priority. It would kind of
Yeah,
prioritize naturally what ones. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's
and it
smart.
was
Yeah, that's
called
good.
email to case, and then they built in things like phone to case. So then, if somebody was phoning up a contact center, the contact center member of staff, say it was like a utility company, you're phoning up to say, oh, I think I'm due an upgrade on my mobile phone or whatever. They
Right.
would be able to see, oh, well, he emailed in last year about this and that, and it was all pulled into one place because Salesforce had the whole ecosystem, which was like awesome. And then
Yeah, that's awesome.
we went one step further where some of our suppliers also use Salesforce. So we could then build apps to go Salesforce to
To
Salesforce.
Salesforce, talk to each other. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
like, a customer places an order with us, we didn't even have to touch it. Order comes into us, our Salesforce is like, oh yeah, we know them, we know that customer, right, and we're going out to this supplier. They also use Salesforce, so it pops through to them, and the whole thing would just go straight through without any staff touching it, and then order would get delivered and shipped because both companies use Salesforce. So but that sounds easy, but that's a huge project to
Right.
plug it all in together and make sure what they ordered actually gets through. And if they email about it, people know and they can see the order number and they get the email. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, right.
that's why I was super stoked when you said you were getting into this world because
Yeah, once you said that, and you were like, because when you, like, I was like, oh, it's good money. I'm like, hey, I need, I'm all for getting something that I can jump in and make decent money, even if it's like if I'm a junior, you know,
well,
Salesforce administrator, it'd be like, hey,
what I like about it though, dude, is it's a career. Like, it's a bit like
yeah, it's
becoming
not, yeah, a job, right?
it's like a trade. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
right, yeah,
It's like being a decorator or a plumber. Like once you're in the Salesforce world, like a plumber, you might start off as an apprentice just cleaning pipes for
yeah, just
them.
kind of, yeah, right.
You know what I
So
mean?
on the chain, right? Yeah,
Yeah, but there's other jobs that you could go into. Like I don't know, let's say you decided to be a graphic designer, right? Like where are you going to go? You might pick up a few jobs doing
oh,
a few
I was a
different
graphic designer. Yeah, I went to school for
Exactly.
that, and
Yeah,
it's such it's a very, and that's a very, as I learned, a very flooded,
yeah.
saturated
And it's
market.
a cul-de-sac, isn't it? There's nowhere to go. You're not going to be a graphic
Yeah,
designer, and then what's the next step up from a graphic designer?
no, you just
And
gotta
then the
be,
step up from that, you know what I mean?
and you got to
It's
stand
kind of
out. Do you have to really like to even be successful as a,
yeah.
you have to be like top notch. You got to be one of the top people.
That's one of them things they don't teach you in school. about life is that there are some careers that are just horizontal, and there's nowhere really to go. Once
Oh
you're
yeah,
there,
that's like
you're
my last
there.
job. That's what I was. Yeah, when I was a graphic artist at, yeah, there was only up really from where I was in that department was I could have maybe gotten into the marketing department. I could have applied for a job, and that's really as far as I'm really gonna would have gotten. So
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. There's really only so far.
yeah. Whereas when you look at like a Salesforce type person, you could start in as an admin, then you could start up as a configuration specialist, then you could be a developer, then you could be a business analyst,
And
then you can be
I guess through the program, I don't just get the certification, but I also Salesforce administration certification. I also get the app building. I'll also learn that too, I believe. So,
yeah.
uh,
Well,
um,
their apps are like mini. They're like mini little plugins, basically, for
yeah,
what
yeah.
Salesforce
See, that's
does.
what I was kind of gathering from it because, like,
Yeah,
I think from the beginning they were just talking about like when you're built, you have three options when you're trying to do work with a company. It's like either do this, you custom build it, or you do that. Like, there's like three ways that you're supposed to approach it as an administrator.
yeah.
Like, you want to do it
A-
the easiest way, but
And the weird thing to get your head around is like a lot of companies recruit Salesforce admins and Salesforce developers. When we bought Salesforce, we sent a load of our staff on that course to become a Salesforce admin,
right,
and then some of them went on to be developers and onto other things and other things and other things. So then we had, like I say, we had 100 people in our
right.
organization that just all they did all day every day was develop and improve our Salesforce.
Oh, okay.
And every time,
Kelly said the same thing. Kelly's company uses it too.
yeah, look,
'Cause I was
it's
talking to
working.
her. I was talking to her about like the program I went to, and she said the same thing. She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "I use Salesforce."
Yeah, so many people will use it and not even realize because it could be called something else. You might be
Right.
using
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
something else that plugs into it, but it's Salesforce in the background. Um, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so so what I'm saying to you is once you get that certification, you could apply for jobs, and it doesn't matter who else is applying for them jobs. If they have not got the Salesforce admin certification, then they're not going to get the job because you've got to be Salesforce
Yeah. Yeah.
certified.
Right. Right.
It's not like any other. You could just be a developer and be like, yeah, I've been a developer for 5 years. I made an app called Black Lens, and I did this and did that.
Yeah. 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 Right.
But
Right. Right.
but have you got Salesforce admin certification? No. Well, come back when you have.
Yeah.
So it's a
Well,
smart
it's
move on
kind of
your
it is
part.
definitely the whole like sometimes it is the whole like I remember when I graduated from college and had a degree. I mean, I probably got a job. I probably got that job, my job, over somebody who probably could have been like, "Oh, I've been a graphic artist for 10 years now." And it's like, "Well, what college did you go to?" "Oh, I didn't go to college. It's just 10 years of experience." It's like, well, here's Mike. Mike just graduated and he has an associate's degree from this college. Oh, yeah, we'll hire him.
Yeah, yeah,
It's unfortunate, but that's really, yeah, it's like, well, it's just sometimes how it works.
yeah.
But no, yeah. So like, anybody, yeah, if I thought, and for myself, especially with this it's like, I've been applying, I think I've applied to about 100 jobs so far and I've gotten nowhere. I've gotten a lot of rejections, to be fair. So I thought to myself, you know what? Any chance to, expand, yeah, my knowledge and stuff like that, and at least while I'm trying to, get something, that'll be good.
So,
I can't.
so this Blind Institute for the Blind, do they only do Salesforce stuff, or was there
Oh,
like
there's a couple
other
of programs.
options?
They had Salesforce administration. What was the other one? There's a couple programs that you could sign up for.
What
And they
what
had,
made
and they have a separate one. They actually have a separate app building one too, I think. So like after I get the Salesforce administration, I think you could do another course. You could do that one, and then there's something. What was it IDS or information something or something? I forgot what it was, but there's definitely another one. I forgot what it was, but there
what
are other
and just for the people
programs.
listening, what made you choose that particular?
That was what was kind of like what he brought up. Like I think that's
Oh,
what the
okay.
guy said. Like when
No,
I was talking, when he was giving me the spiel, the whole just kind of introduction of what that was about, what the whole career chasers 26 was all about and stuff. That was like the first thing it's what he was talking about. He was saying
okay.
he was mentioning Salesforce being in a sales administration, and hey, this is what Salesforce is, and blah blah blah. And if you are you interested? And I'm like, Yeah, I'd like to know more. Yeah. So, and yeah. So, but I know there is two things you could sign up for at least from the start. Either
Wow.
Salesforce or this other one. I forgot what it was, but yes, there are other avenues.
To the blind, are they just US based? The the Institute for the Blind.
What's that guy calling me from? Yeah, because they're from. I don't know if they're out of California or yeah, no, that's right. She's in Colorado. That's right. They're out of Colorado. So I don't. I'm assuming it's just that. But yeah, no, that was no. The funny thing is, so the first interview, which the first one, I thought like I'd look all nice, but the guy's blind. Like I got
Brilliant. I
and he
can't
wasn't
believe you're just telling me this now. That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Yeah, he hops on, no video. He's not on video. Yeah. He's just it's just
Mike
audio
sat
call.
there, everybody, with a dicky bow on and a tuxedo. And his little
I'm like,
hat.
it's an interview. I'm like, oh, I look all yeah, dude, look all nice. And then he
Good
hops
for you.
on.
Good for you. Be going in with the
Figuring, yeah, right. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's supposed to look good.
Good on you. Good on you.
Yeah,
Proud of you. Proud of you, brother.
I get it. I just thought it was just like how ironic. The guy's like, oh hey, I'm Mike, and he's like I'm Mike Hess, and I've been, he's like I'm blind. I've been blind since I don't know if he was blind at birth or if I forgot what it was, but yeah, I was like, oh, thinking to myself, oh great, takes the pressure off, I guess, of looking good. Okay, looking good.
Oh God.
I'm good. I'm good over audio. I'm pretty good on video too. But
you have to be careful. This is going to catch you out. Like you'll be at the final stage when you go to the big assessment, and that'll be like all the boardroom executives.
Yeah.
You're going to be there in a baseball cap and a sweat vest.
Like, oh, I didn't realize this. Yeah.
You're like, wait, what? You guys aren't blind? Oh my God.
Yeah, so yeah, just give you guys a heads up. Yeah, if you get a Mike Hess coming out to you, which I think it must be I don't know if it's I'm assuming it's husband and wife that do it together or something because the one who Natalie is Natalie Hess, so I think I'm assuming it might be a husband and wife type thing. But yeah, Natalie's really friendly. Yeah.
What a big shout out, Institute for the Blind. I have no experience of using them, but from what you're telling me,
it's great. It felt very welcoming.
I wonder how many people like you they speak to in a year and how many of them, because I mean, what you're doing here, it's a shame really, because ideally you probably want fast money in your current situation.
Well, that's what the guy was saying when he told me. He's like, because he's mentioning how long the program is. He's like, I know, might not be able to do now, but you might, I was like, yeah, this gives you the, something to do while you are job hunting. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
That's a shame because like, if you'd have done this, like when,
if I knew about maybe, right. If I had, like, if this something like this came up, maybe.
Because this is like a long game. This is not to get a job. This is to get a career.
This is, right.
I'm like, wow, like this should be everywhere in the RP groups, because it could be like, I don't know, 18, 19-year-old guy out there.
Because it's free. It's literally they get like an $8 million grant. They get something. I forget what the grant is, but they get a grant and it's just so it's not even because Kelly even asked, oh, how much is that going to cost? I was like, it's nothing. It's free for me.
I mean, bro, you should literally be like, when you're doing the course, get Evan to sit next to you and do it as well, and then he could just go on.
Oh, just be like, yeah, so he knows. He probably is so good faster than I would easily.
By the time he's 18, he could go straight to Salesforce business analyst. They're on like $5,000 a day. So
that's nuts.
Yeah, but they need.
Here I'm sitting there going, I'd be happy to make like $5,000 a month.
Yeah,
like that'd be insane to be like, okay.
Well, I mean, I told you that, like, we had a guy, and he was our Salesforce architect. So they don't even do the stuff in Salesforce. They just
come about like,
right, all these apps fit together like this. We need 52 apps. We need these different things, and this is how it's all going to work. And
he just kind of figures it. Oh, okay.
Just like a building architect, but for software, because it can be that complicated when you get into such a high level. And we'd spent like 5 years, paid for him to do Salesforce admin, then Salesforce level 2, level 5, level 7. He did all that stuff, and then he wanted more money, and we wouldn't give it to him. Not me, like
not you, but your
big bosses. And then he looked around for some other jobs, and 2 other companies offered him a job, and he left on the Friday. And I remember saying to him, "Oh, which one did you take in the end?" And he said, "I still haven't decided." He said, "I've accepted them both on a Monday morning, I've just got to turn up at one of them. But they both,
But
but they both tripled his salary.
it's like tripled. That's
Yep.
I don't even know what he makes. What was he making? Do you know what he probably was making to begin with?
I don't know because he was just like a normal guy,
All
and we
right.
needed somebody. Anyone want to do Salesforce admin course? And he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And I don't even know what his actual job was. I think he was like a data insights guy that used to do reports and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So because he got him promoted internally, they were just like, "Oh yeah, he's okay. I'll give him an extra couple of grand." And then when he did the next level, oh yeah, well, can't really give you anything this time. We'll give you next level because it was like all done in the background. He just slowly didn't really. Whereas if you then go out and try and hire somebody that's
Yeah.
done 5 years, because this guy had done like literally 5 years of learning and courses and qualifications in Salesforce. So he'd gone like right to the top. You know what I mean? He'd basically studied and done all the different Salesforce accreditations. He'd done a lot. He was like basically an expert. But he wasn't on an expert wage. He was still on like a
A regular or whatever, right? Yeah.
regular sort of office wage, and
Man,
yeah, so then they
imagine
lost
that.
him. But to be fair to that guy, that was 5 years of his life doing the courses, doing the learning, training himself on it. I mean, we paid for it all. We sent him on them courses. He was doing that in work's time, and
Yeah, so
they
it didn't
should
really
they
like
they should have looked after him. But
imagine that
yeah,
3 times. Like it's like
changed his life.
that's quite a chunk of change. I mean, imagine that'd be like, I mean, like even here, a decent job here is probably like, like 60,000 a year, If like
Yeah,
if you making like 3 times, like you're just like, okay, well now you're gonna make $180,000 a year. It's like,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Like, all right, I can buy that Mercedes. No, 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 no. It's like, man,
And
nuts.
I mean, Salesforce. I'm not sure how many years they've been going, and I think they've bought a couple of companies along the way.
Yeah,
But now, they're kind of like Microsoft in a way. They are that big. It's just that most people won't have heard of them because you don't use it as a consumer at home. You wouldn't
I
really be using
I've
it. But
seen the logo a bunch of times, Salesforce. I've heard of it in talks,
okay,
and I know Ben Fox and I were talking about Salesforce when I was in New Jersey because the guy he's friends with is developing a he's trying to he's trying to compete with Salesforce, which he thinks is like a disaster idea. Yeah. It's like, how are you going to compete with Salesforce as like,
that's like me and you
you
trying to
know,
start Microsoft 2.0. It's just
yeah, you're
like
like, we're going to
so
compete
far
with
ahead.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Our go to comes Apple. We're going to be like, hey, you and I, we're going to compete and we're going to make a
Just you
better
wait,
phone
everybody.
than
The
Apple.
RP phone coming out next
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, all right, you and I go, oh, I think we can create a better soda than Coca-Cola. We're gonna
Yeah.
destroy Coca-Cola next year. It's like, no, you're not. You're never gonna catch them. So
No.
yeah, so that's literally what he's doing. He's like, and he's just throwing all his money at it, and he's got his own like small little India team, and he's trying to. That's what he was doing when I was there, when I was living there. He's
When a company's doing well, because like they've got their big office in London, like on Canary Wharf, is like one of the most expensive areas. Then
yeah.
then I've physically seen their office in
Oh, that's right.
Australia.
That's right. You
I
see,
I,
yeah.
I was in a place in Sydney overlooking the harbour, and Salesforce Tower, Australia, is probably one of the most expensive buildings in all of
That's
Australia.
insane.
It's literally looking down on the famous Sydney Harbour Bridge
Okay. Yeah.
and the thing that looks like a shell, the Opera House that you
Oh yeah,
always
yeah, 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 yeah,
see.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you always see it on New Year's Eve when the fireworks are going off before everyone else. Well, their tower is in between that famous Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. It's like a part of the Sydney skyline. God knows how much they pay for that tower, but that's how much money they've got. They are massive.
It's like we literally have this much money. It's like, yeah, no. So yeah, yeah. That's why I was like, you know what? That sounds pretty good. If I can get, 17 weeks through, I mean, as long as I make it through the assessment and can get into the program.
It's not going to be easy. It's going to be like training for a marathon. You know what I mean? You're going to have to put in the work, and it's
Yeah.
going to be,
I'm happy as long as I can make, I mean, my I don't want to like you said, like I think you were saying, just take it slow and don't get,
try
don't
not to
try
get
to.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, so if I'm happy, I'm happy as long as every day I can get through a module. I just do a module. I just kind of just And as I
It's not.
and if after a week I do that and it works out well, I might go, hey, I could squeeze in
It,
2 modules.
it's not even doing the modules, is it? It's getting it to stay in your brain. That's the
That
problem.
too, probably getting a little to get, yeah, that's the biggest thing for me, especially like I said, being when you're kind of been out of uh like even I think about when how my old job, and I remember how I had things. I was very organized in my old job, had all my nice windows and laid out the way I needed them for different files I need to find and things and search. And I had my email put over here. It's like even thinking about at one point in time how just on my shit I was back then, and I'm like, I couldn't imagine going into my company right now, say doing the same job, saying, okay, Mike, tomorrow you're gonna go back and you're gonna
You got
go
your job
back to
back. Here's
you
we've
got your
even got
job
your old.
back.
We even got your old computer. Here we
Yeah,
go.
we're gonna put you back at your cubicle. We're gonna toss you right in with the vision you have now, and you're just gonna like, do your job. We're gonna reteach it. I think that would take me some time. I wouldn't just be like, okay, I'm
After a while.
back, which is
After a
funny,
while.
whereas I was gone when I took a voluntary leave when the economy was kind of like tanking back in 2009. And I was gone. I pretty much got like a paid for, like as they say, I got a paid 4 month vacation basically because I was on, everything was getting paid. I was just working on my Datsun that I just got. Like, that's all I spent 4 months just like doing, like just working on that and having fun and chilling out. And I went back 4 months later, and it was like I had no problem. It was like I had not left. I just went right back into. I knew how to change all the film printers still. I knew how to, I just went back to my desk. It was still like I knew how to do everything pretty much. It took just a little adjustment because we had changed some things since I had been gone. But other than that, easy. But this is like, okay, I've been out of the work zone for like 10 years.
The whole world's changed.
Yeah, the whole world has changed. And now you're factoring is I don't have the vision I had in 2015, so it's like, okay,
And now everything's done on Teams now, and
yeah, and it's all this kind of stuff. So it's like, I mean, I'm happy enough to be like, okay, you know what? I got through just like I said, setting up all the accounts, and I did pretty well with that. There was a couple of hiccups doing that, so I was proud of myself for just to get to a point where, okay, you know what? I'm set up, and I managed to do that on my own, and everything's good there. So, and I like, oh, that's right. She was asking me. I think she was asking me. I think it was her. She was asking me if I was how I learn best. And I said, ironically, I'm a visual learner. Or so, yeah, so I was talking to somebody about that. I was saying how it's funny because I'm actually like a visual learner. Like, I mean, I remember going into I was in mechanics in high school, and you'd go in the theory room and you'd be like, okay, this is how you do an oil change, and they would, you'd go read the book and go through all that in theory on how to do an oil change. But I feel like it didn't soak into me until we'd go out into the shop floor and you'd see, how to do an oil change. You'd watch it happen, and I'd go, that's way easier, So I'm very much still, ironically, a visual learner. So like a lot of this is videos, which is good because for me, that's how I like to learn. I like to watch and
well,
see.
I'm a kinesthetic learner or a
Okay.
kinetic learner. So I'm more of that. I need to do it rather than.
Oh, that too. I need both. I need to
rather
see
than
it,
see it. You can't
and then
just
I need
show
to do
me
it.
like I can't just watch a video. I need to.
You need to
do
actually
it.
experience it. Well, yeah, I would say I'm both then, because I do
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And the good thing about Salesforce and app development, it's like if you're doing app development when I'm making my apps, because you've got Swift Playground, which is the same thing because you can just play
Kind of,
around to make
you
an app.
just mess around with it. Yeah, right.
And then Salesforce have copied Apple's Playground idea and got the Salesforce Playground, and then even when you're doing it in real life, like I've had stuff built in Salesforce for my like individual projects, and our Salesforce guys would give you something called a sandbox, and I'm like, what the hell is a sandbox?
Yeah, what's a sandbox now?
And like basically it's like a safe version of our Salesforce so that you can test what we've made is right before we deploy it to the rest of the staff.
It still doesn't mess around. It doesn't mess with anything. Yeah,
it's a bit like Trailhead, but like you have your own as a company. So like,
I love that idea. I love the idea that I'm like, I like the idea that I'm using. Yeah, that I'm going to be using essentially Salesforce, and
same thing.
That everything I'm doing is going to be realistic to the job. It's like them giving me. It's like learning how to take apart an engine, but it's a real engine you're taking apart.
Mm-hmm.
but it's not for someone's car. It's like not for someone important's car. Like we're
Yeah.
just saying, hey, here's, or it's like a plastic module. It's an engine that could be taken apart, and it's
Because you
just
can play
for,
around with it and mess with it. That
yeah.
works.
Like, okay, let's see if I do this and do that, yeah, do that, and yeah. I like the fact that there's a little less pressure when it's like, oh, okay, so I can kind of
I
do
think
whatever I want.
I think the biggest risk to you is that obviously this isn't like your passion. Like you didn't wake up
Yeah,
one
I'm
morning
not a salesforce. I
and
dream
you
of
go,
this.
do you know what I've always wanted to do since I was a little boy was be a Salesforce
Yeah,
administrator. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
So
that's gonna take some time for me to get to
it's
a point where I'm
can you
locked
take
in on it.
the suck? That's the problem. It's like this is
Yeah,
not something you want to do. It's
yeah.
something that you
I
should
need,
do.
yeah, right.
That's the
And
hardest thing.
but I also know to myself that once, like, I am a technical kind of person, so once it starts, like, when things start clicking, and I go, oh,
Yeah.
all right, oh, okay, like, like once I start understanding it,
I
I'm very
just
much I like
just don't
results.
I just don't see you setting up a Low Vision Salesforce Instagram account or
Yeah,
Low Vision
right.
Salesforce.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, right. No, yeah, yeah. Hey
Do you know what I
guys,
mean?
hi guys, Mike T back here. You are,
Which you know you probably should do because it's like
Salesforce.
it's equally inspirational to go from day
I
zero.
think once if I get through this and I make, I get certified, that'll definitely be a experience that I will 100%
I,
share.
I
And
mean that'd be a hell of an achievement if you can actually get accredited and get that certification.
that's kind of like what we said about the comic book.
I know loads of people that didn't finish it.
That's what I'm saying. To me, it's the comic book. It's the if I get a certification, I mean, yeah, the job obviously and getting something and actually using it is like awesome. But to me, I count myself as being success. I succeeded. Like that's a success. If I sit there and look at you and say,
Totally.
hey, I got a Salesforce administration certification, I'd be like, cool,
Totally.
I did it. So yeah. So to me, but I don't like to fail things. I don't like to give up. So I'm trying to use all my sports, my athletic self to, apply that same logic to that world and be like, okay, this is going to take time. It's going to suck at times, and you just deal with it. Like you hit the wall in a marathon, you just kind of
It's
absorb
where
it.
I am now. It's like the same for me. Like, I've just had like 7 months of living the best life and doing stuff that I was actually enjoying, like the apps and the TV
messing around, trying to keep yourself busy.
Loving all that, but then I was like, reality's setting in now. Do I want to keep doing that and then end up, paycheck to paycheck and give up the holidays, give up going out every weekend and doing cool stuff, or do I need to get my ass?
Yeah, well, it depends. Like, I mean, you could have,
going
unless
on.
you really, I mean, your apps are great, but like you said, you weren't getting like, I think if your app went different, the way you saw it, like, the Black Lens one, I think that would have maybe changed things for you.
Oh, totally. If that had
You know
gone
what I'm saying?
viral, if that could have sustained me and kept
If you,
my current,
because you would have seen, you've been like, oh, there is a market for this.
yeah,
Or I could do more because now, oh, I like this app building thing. I think it would have spurred you.
Oh, totally. And who knows? Maybe one day that will happen, and like
yeah,
in a who knows? At some point, there could be Low Vision BMX is a global thing, and
exactly. That's what I want to. I don't want to be. You did exactly what you should have done when you're on. When you were unemployed, just like I do. I was just talking about this with a friend of mine today, and I was telling her how I don't like everyone thinks people who are on disability are sitting on a couch.
Oh yeah,
they don't work. And I'm like, I work now because I could say this because I worked at a company for 10 years. I did all this stuff and I was working out. I work harder now. I have more irons in the fire now than I've had when I was working at a 9 to 5. So because I don't like the whole logic that people go, oh yeah, well, it must be nice, Mike. You must have all this time. And it's like, oh, people who are on disability just to do this. It's like, no. I like to try to keep myself busy. And that's how I know. That's the reason why I know you. The reason I know Eric, Vinny, all them, because I started a podcast. I'm always trying to
do something.
Do something. So I like the fact that you were like, you did stuff.
Totally.
Okay, take this time. I'm gonna learn how to. I want to teach myself how to build apps. I'm going to do this, like whatever. It's like, so
I can honestly say, right? I can honestly say on the Holy Bible or whatever, Holy Jedi, whatever your tipple is, that I literally from the day I finished work, I worked every day 9 till 5 in
That's
my
right.
house
That's
on
right.
either building the website, learning the app development, launching the app, making the app store, getting the submissions, doing the screenshots, did all the graphic design. I did literally everything myself. Well, me and
That's awesome.
AI,
See?
me
You
and
and your team,
AI,
you and your AI team, you and
me
your
and my
team,
team,
you and your
we did
team. Yeah.
did everything, absolutely everything. Even had to write like, just get on the app store. I had to write a privacy policy. I've never wrote a privacy policy before. I was like, right, okay, ChatGPT, how do I write a
Yeah,
privacy
exactly. Yeah,
policy?
exactly.
And you know what I mean? It's like all takes time. All takes time.
Yeah. Nope. That's like, yeah, that's how it's very important to me. I'm the one that made my Shopify. Where I had to work on that, make my Shopify store for Levision merch and do all the editing for that. And
I should
then
do
now I'm
that for
doing
Black
it.
Lens, shouldn't I? A Black
Yeah,
Lens merch.
that's do some, yeah, that's absolutely. That one's still trouble. I still want it to be. You were talking about how before you were saying Salesforce to Salesforce and having them just automated and all that. That's what I wish I could do for Shopify, because now what I have to do is I still have to do things. So like, because I use Printify to fulfill my orders. So you have to. So if someone orders, and I was talking to one of my customers, like, she's cool, he's cool, Nick, because I want to, like, I'm really making sure like he's really happy, and I want to know how the process went with him. So I was like, let me know. He's like, oh, he said the website was really easy to use and went really well. I was like, good, good, good. It's like, let me know when you get it, take a picture, and like, let me know, make sure you're happy with the product. And but the only problem is, so he ordered it, and I'm like, why is it taking so long? I was like,
Oh,
oh, no, I realized what it was I was telling him, like, oh, let me look into it, because I don't know why I thought I put it in for fulfillment. But then what you have to do is, because I had to go into Printify, since they're the ones that filled, so I had to go in Printify app. And there's, even though he paid and I have my balance is over in Shopify, I have to transfer that money. I have to have money in my Printify balance. So when someone
oh,
orders, it pulls it from there. So even though
oh man.
it goes into Shopify, I have to wait for Shopify to pay that out and put that in there. Like, I have my own Shopify balance, and then I can transfer that to my bank account.
No way.
So while I'm waiting for that, though, I have to still fulfill this order. So I have to put my own money into like the Printify account, like just enough to cover whatever they ordered. And then I'll just transfer, once that money pays out, I'll transfer that into my bank account. So it's kind of like, I wish it were a little more better automated, so I didn't have to, when someone orders, I have to quick fulfill. And I wish it would just auto fulfill, automatically put into, like, when someone orders, it should automatically go to Printify and say, hey, all right, we got an order, boom, Printify accepts it. And then it'd be cool if it, like, Shopify could automatically, I don't know, when some customer pays, could just automatically send it to, I don't know, have it transferred to Printify. I don't know how it works. But yeah, so it's just a little bit things like that where I'm just like, this does. So I have to kind of make sure I do that, because I already had 2 orders so far, and I'm just like, I'm making sure now. But the first one was great. I said, Nick, I told him, I was like, thank you for being so patient, because this way, like, if I can work it out with you, once I know, now I'll know how to, which I knew how to do it for the next one. So I was like, good,
Yeah, that's good. That's
but yeah,
good.
but I'm definitely learning from, like, our experience and how you and I, when we were doing it. So I was like, I'm making sure now, being much more, I'm trying to be much more patient with the customer. I'm trying to be more just be like, hey, just like, oh, sorry this took so long, and let me know. I hope you love it, and trying to
I mean,
provide that kind of customer service.
all of that is such good examples when you ever do any interviews. Managing all of that, like the t-shirt shop,
Yeah,
print
right.
side,
Yeah, so the other stuff
that
we're
that
talking about. Yeah, right.
you know,
Like, yep. Podcasts, like you were saying, how we can just having to schedule podcasting, RP
schedule,
show, like,
editing,
yeah,
advertising. That's all
yeah.
skills. That's all
You
skills.
just, yeah, you could, but it's funny because you don't, like I was saying, I'm talking to you. I never thought about it that way sometimes,
Yeah.
when you just look at it and go, well, I never worked at customer service. I never worked in a customer service role. Well, yeah, you do. You deal with customers all the time at the YMCA, or
Like
you deal with, like,
and the way I would frame that is like, you own an online business. You've got an online shop. You do the
right. And I have to,
marketing.
yeah,
You
the
you
marketing.
do the
I,
customer service. You do the
yeah, right.
designing, the upload. You know what I mean?
Yep. So
Anyway,
it's cool.
we're gonna call time. We're nearly out. Any questions? Any
No
comments?
follow. I think what's it? Who's watching? It still says 2 people are watching, so I'm assuming Wonder is still on. But no. And I wonder if you're still on. Is there any any questions for us before we head out? Because we always like to answer questions. But who's the other guy? Oh, that's right. That was what's his name? I have to still reach out to the guy. Was it Mark or whatever? The one, he's like on our Instagram, and get him on. So we're definitely planning on that. Oh, so Wonder, if you are still on, and you actually would like to join us, actually be on our, our live stream, let us know. So, because I know you messaged us too on the RP show Instagram. So this
Nice.
way, because it would be kind of cool, to start, as Steve and I were saying, to turn this into like a Joe Rogan kind of thing. We can we'll bring someone on and we all can just shoot the shit, low
Nice.
vision style. So because this is like, this is what Steve and I already do anyway. That's why we decided to do it this way. This way it's like, oh, we're gonna talk to each other anyway. And we always
Yeah,
enjoy
this is
going
just
live.
like not edited anymore, no fancy stuff. We just talk random
Yeah,
shit.
because our lives are kind of, sporadic right now. So, and at some point, yeah, hopefully this will spur on us to actually, or maybe once in a while we'll do a video, maybe we'll be, hey, let's do this one and we can put one out. But yeah, so this is just something where low key, we can all shoot the shit, and hopefully people like, you guys like Wonder and all that stuff can get something out of it, and by just hearing, hey, like, look what Steve's doing. Look what Mike's doing. Like, oh,
Yeah.
great. This is great. Like, I didn't think I could do this stuff. But it's kind of like the whole like low vision BMX racing. Like, I think there's so many people out there because I didn't think I could do that. And now here I am a year later. Like, so maybe there's people like me out there that are going, oh, like I didn't think I could. Maybe, well, let me try that. So, and now that I can open a whole new thing. And then same with you, Steve. It's like there are probably people out there that didn't think they can work again. And that was the one different thing about you when I had you on. I was like, you still work? like it was such a foreign thing when I had you on my podcast. And I was like that. And I thought it was funny. You and I both admired each other because you liked the fact that I ran like a household, cooked and
I was like, you
cleaned.
cook? I was like, you
Yeah,
cook?
yeah. Like,
I was
wait,
like,
you do it? Like, yeah, you. It's like,
I was
yeah.
like, wait,
So,
what? Did you wear an apron like a grandma? What the hell?
so, and I thought, and of course, I admired Steve because I was like you're still like what your vision how it is now. Like you do a job, like you work an actual regular job, and it's like so yeah. So that's kind of where things have evolved to, guys. So yeah, so hop on. And so if you see this and you have any interest of just joining us, actually being on, not just chatting in the box there, but you actually want to be on our live stream with us and chatting it out, reach out to Instagram and just send me a message, the RP show. And yeah, and hopefully we'll see you on.
Cool. Well,
Let's
Tubes,
do it.
it's been great catching up. I
Ditto.
mean, it's so cool, speaking to someone like you. You've got the BMX stuff going on, you've got the spin class going on, you've got other personal stuff going on, and now you're going to try and learn like essentially a new language, this wholesale course. I mean, I don't think the guys in the other chat really, oh yeah, Mike's learning something himself.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But
you need to take that
no,
slow because it's going to be over. Luckily for you, I'm the one person in that group that instantly knew what it was. And yeah, you just gotta. I know you pretty well.
no, but I appreciate it because, like I said, you're the one that you've always been the kind of mentor, so I'm always the one that was like listened to you. I mean, I know a lot of people. You try to get through a lot of us in the group, but not everybody listens. But
So it's a bit like shooting pool with a piece of rope sometimes.
But the funny thing is that, and like I said to you, I've always said to you, is that I get it now. I get it. Like you're not you. It's not about being mean, or it's not about, or being pushy. It's you see something in people, and you believe they're capable of doing more. And that's
Yeah,
just what you're,
I
that's just what you're
see
looking.
their potential. They don't see
Yeah,
it.
they don't see it. So I've always been like, okay, I'm the Tubiac maniac. Well, I can't call myself that if I'm not out here trying to take on things that I'm telling, hey, well, you could do this too. Like,
If you're not scared, you're basically not trying hard enough.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, this overwhelming already? Yes. But can I do it? Yes. It's just a matter of just getting, to me, like I said, it's like the same thing. It's like stepping into the gym for the first day, and you're just like, I don't know what to do.
I honestly don't. I honestly think, right, you and we're just like, we are restless souls.
Yes.
I don't imagine
Yeah.
just sitting still and doing nothing.
No, it's tough to. I struggle with relaxing. Absolutely.
Like I could win the lotto right next week.
Okay, right. Yeah,
and win
right.
50 million.
Yeah, just set.
But I wouldn't just be sat on a beach doing nothing. It's just not in my nature. I would do, if I
I think I'd have I would allow myself to be more probably a little more relaxed. But yeah, but I definitely would not
Yeah, but if I gave
do
you,
something.
if I gave you 50 million,
Yeah, you're like you're all
if I
set.
gave you,
Yeah.
if I gave you $100 million on Monday, like, I don't think you'd just be like, I'm retired. I'm just gonna sit at home
No, I would be like, oh great, now I can
in my underpants,
finally I could take
you
this
know.
money, I could do this, I could build this, I could yeah, I could
Exactly.
I could like oh I could do this, I could oh yeah, that would allow me to get more bikes and I could yeah, like I could
If I gave you like 100 million or 100 billion, I know straight away, because the main thing that's in your mind is BMX. You'd be like, right, oh, 100 billion, right? Well, I'm
oh
going to
I
spend
could build a
2
whole building.
million.
I could have a whole
I'm gonna,
building. I could
I'm going
put
to
a
build a
whole
low vision
yeah,
BMX
headquarters like
center. And, it's
yeah,
going to
I
have,
have my own track. I have a whole
it's going to have
facility.
10 tracks. One of them's going to have
Yeah.
crocodiles in it. The other one's going to have piranhas. You just, if money was not, and then,
Oh yeah, when you're yeah, it's absolutely no, I wouldn't
but
know.
then if I'd have,
Yeah.
but if I'd have gave you 50 billion last year, you'd have gone, I'm going to get a motion picture done of the To Be At Maniac. I'm
Oh,
going to
whatever.
get,
Yeah, right. So
you know what
whatever
I
in
mean?
that moment, if that moment, that's yeah, whatever we were
And
working
that's what
on.
I'm
If you
saying.
gave me that
That's what I'm
money,
saying.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think you and I are the same in that.
yeah. We don't. Yeah. I mean,
if
would
you,
it be nice? Well, we go. I mean, I'll still spend my time just like you would. You
yeah,
might.
but my
You
time, what
know,
would I be doing? I'd probably be like, I don't know, I'd probably build an elephant sanctuary in Thailand, or I would be around moving
like
constantly
yeah,
doing stuff.
you and Anna could be yeah, technically spending your time on a beach, but like you actually work at like you own like you
Yeah,
can own that beach or whatever. Like, and, like you're just taking a break from like work
yeah.
or doing what you're doing, whatever you're
I would
building.
do
So
so much stuff. Like
oh my
every
God, yeah, yeah.
single month would
Yeah,
probably
no,
be
I
different.
agree. I can see like that's just like because you know what though? Because then it clears up my brain of the stress of oh, how am I supposed to do that? How do I get the money for this? Like now it's
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
If you're telling me you just gave me $50 billion or whatever, like yeah, now it's like oh now my brain can fully
I guess
go.
I think about it, right? I think I actually might be a bit like Elon Musk, because he now technically could just
Okay.
quit all jobs, couldn't he? He
He doesn't
now
have to work.
he
Yeah, he
doesn't
doesn't
have to
have to work.
work,
Yeah. There's a
right?
lot of the guys don't have to work. A lot of those guys who are
And
billionaires and stuff like they don't
and
have to
and,
work.
and you think like he runs. I mean, being a CEO is a busy job. Like, apparently, I've never been a CEO, but apparently, if you're a CEO, you
Okay.
basically don't have any time. You're always basically working. But he's the CEO of Starlink, SpaceX, Tesla, um,
Yeah.
the
He doesn't have
Boring
to like
Company,
keep yeah. Yeah.
Twitter. So he's the CEO of like 7 companies.
Oh, look at
Um,
look at The Rock. The Rock doesn't have to work.
no,
Those guys don't have to work. Like, yeah, he owns all these companies, football teams. Like, it's like he has investments. So like,
yeah.
there's, these guys they don't have to work. So yeah, why? Like, why do they? Yeah, like, why do they have to keep going?
And it's funny though, there's a common denominator, right? They've all been successful. So maybe that's what you should focus on, because it is people like you that end up striking gold at some point. It might not be when you're 25. It might not be when you're 35. It might
Yeah, it
not
might be
even be when
here,
you're 45.
45.
You
But
know what I
yeah, it's
mean?
it,
It's
right. You
just,
just gotta keep
look
what do you
at
say,
Taylor
not
Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan was like just a string of terrible jobs until he hit like whatever he was, 46, and he made a little show called Yellowstone and went from being broke
oh,
to
that's what made you. Oh, okay.
billionaire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. Oh well, I mean, well, Sylvester Stallone was like what 30 when he wrote Rocky.
yeah.
So if I mean you figure like, geez, I mean you don't, yeah, exactly. You don't really, and The Rock had $7 at some point. Like
Hey,
that's
have you seen the Rocky film that's coming out, which looks
oh yeah, the one that's
incredible?
like actually like more like like a documentary, but like about yeah, but
They're
the guy
making a
actually playing
film about the film,
about the
which
film,
is
yeah, how
such
it
a cool
actually,
idea,
yeah,
of like him, writing it in his bedroom. Everybody saying to him, "Okay, we'll buy the film, but you can't be in it because you're
yeah,
too
you can't be in
ugly."
it, yeah, because that was the whole story.
And
He's
and
like,
I,
no, I'm Rocky,
and
and
I'm
that's all like
thinking,
they're imagine that.
so
That's like that's
so
nuts
here's
to
a
think
classic
about.
example, right? If 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 I had unlimited money,
Yeah.
when that comes out, I'll be saying, right, Tubes, why don't me and you go and watch that movie together in Philadelphia, and I'll pick you up in the private jet,
Imagine that. Oh
fly
yeah,
down to
right.
Philly, because we've ran the Rocky. Me and Mike, if anyone's still on, we have actually ran the Philadelphia Rocky Run, which is such a
Together.
cool achievement. Um, and imagine going to watch that, again, if money was no object, and you could just hop on a plane and go, right, you know what? Yeah, fine. 10 grand to go and watch the premiere.
But I
of
think what he had an idea, because what makes that brilliant is he got offered, I think, 100,000. I think they kept like throwing money at him,
all the way to
you know,
500,000.
and he was just like, nope, 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 nope. And you think about how many people, and you gotta think how much money that was in the 70s. In the 70s, like
I
if you
don't, I
got
don't,
off, that's insane.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard he actually wrote Rocky 1 in one weekend.
Yes, that's what it was, like the course of like 3 days or some
Yeah,
shit
he
like that.
apparently he just blacked out all of his windows, and he was in the zone. And while he was in full flow, he just kept going and going and going, and he just wrote
Because
the
it's
whole.
actually based, he took some ideas from this. The real Rocky is Chuck Wepner. That's actually where he
Oh,
pulled
okay,
the story from, a real boxer that
okay.
pretty much some guy just low, regular Joe Schmo that got to face he faced Muhammad Ali. He
Ah,
somehow got this matchup, and that's kind of the premise. And
sort of the
Chuck
inspiration
Wepner
for the
actually
story.
sued him. Chuck Wepner actually did sue Sylvester Stallone and won the lawsuit because he actually. But I actually saw today. I was on Instagram that Chuck Wepner, he actually wrote a part for Chuck Wepner to be in Rocky 2, but Chuck Wepner showed up drunk
Oh,
and ruined. He just lost it. So he had an opportunity, but he blew it. So because Sylvester Stallone was going to put him in the movie for the second one. So, but
no
yeah,
way.
and he called the character like Chuck Whipner or Chuck something. He named it kind of like his name different, but so he ended up using the using character based kind of on Chuck Whipner for locked up or whatever, one of the movies he did where he was in prison.
Huh.
So it's like, so it's an opportunity. Like, see, you missed that opportunity, but yeah, no, so that would be like, imagine someone goes up to you and they go, "Hey, we're gonna buy black lens from you," but like, how much it's really. You feel like maybe you feel like it's worth a lot more than you, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna give you $5,000 for the licensing," and you're like, "No, I'm good." No, okay, we'll give you $50,000. Come on. Like, no, I think this is gonna be worth a lot more than that. Like, it's like, no, it's my, and then they just imagine just sticking to your guns because you're just like,
That's
in
so
your
much
heart
balls, isn't it?
that you believe. You're like, no, this is a billion. This is gonna be massive. This app's gonna be massive, and no, I'm not selling it. And someone's offering you like,
That's
no,
some balls.
we'll give you 500. Like, here you are sitting where you're sitting, and someone's going, I will give you right now $500,000 for your app, Steve, and you're still going, nope, I'm gonna hold
I'd be able
out.
to stick to my guns as long as
Yeah.
Anna didn't hear the conversation.
Yeah. Well, you're selling that app.
Yeah. That's gonna pay for our new kitchen. Get that sold now.
Yeah. So to me, like, yeah, like our low vision BMX racing, someone coming and going, we love your idea, Mike. We're gonna buy that from you. And you're like, and I'm like, no. I'm Mike. I'm
I'm the
like,
founder.
I'm the founder. It's like, no. We'll just don't worry about it. We'll run the cup. We're gonna buy it from you. We're gonna like, no, nope. I have a vision and I'm sticking to it. Like, that takes a lot. Yeah, that's true. That takes so much. Or imagine the Two Bag Maniac when we did the comic book.
Yep.
Imagine some company just coming in and we're like, and I'm like, no, like, I'm the Two Bag Maniac.
never-
like
You never know though what's gonna circle back to you. Sometimes things you think have done and dusted and then you have a resurgence, so you just never know.
yeah, like said, maybe one day, like
Just
all of a
got skin in
sudden,
the game.
Black Lens is all of a sudden
Yep.
somebody like we said, the right eyes have to see it.
Yeah.
The right eyes have to see it.
Because everything's so saturated now, it's hard to get anything to blow up.
Yeah. So if all of a sudden, I don't know, some CEO or some head up, some big marketing guy all of a sudden is in the app store, finds your app, and he's maybe like, oh my God, why isn't this app more successful? This is insane. This is great. And all of a sudden you're getting an email, from this guy.
Or if one of the 50 blind influencers that ignore my emails actually,
Yeah.
mentioned it on Instagram.
I forgot to tell you, I will share one more thing before you go. I got
Go
offered
on.
to be on a podcast from this guy on Instagram who is like got about 50,000 followers, and because he was looking for guests to come on his podcast, and he just said, send me your story. And he basically covers people who survive trauma and stuff like that. Like he was sexually abused as from a man when he was raped as a child, and so he wrote a book called Scarred, and so it's all about surviving trauma and all that kind of stuff. But so I was like, I just reached out. I just said, hey, I'm 14. I have our retinitis pigmentosa, been slowly going blind, got diagnosed at the age of 14, and now blah, 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 and you know, I went on to do this, and now I'm a visually impaired BMX racer. I sent him like my YouTube, the story from Fox 61, and he's like, so he finally got back to me, and he's like, oh wow, he's like, I think you and I would have like an amazing conversation together.
So you're
He's
gonna do
like,
it?
well, if I can get out to New Jersey, because that's where he's like, can you get out? Can you come out to New Jersey for a one-on-one interview? I said, it's like, yeah, I mean, depends where it is, but I should be able to make it, you know, I'm sure I can make it work. I go, I was just there for a month in New
That's such a
Jersey.
shame when you were
Yeah.
there. Couldn't have
Yeah,
met
I
him.
could have been like, yeah, I don't know where in New Jersey he is in relation, but I'm like, yeah, I mean, I could probably
Maybe you
make
could
it
hit
work.
up B Fox and be like, "Yo, can I stay for the weekend?"
Or Anthony Ferraro, because he's in New Jersey
Yeah.
too. So
There you
be like,
go.
oh, I got a Vic. So he's still supposed to ship me my he has my hoodie I left with him. So I might have to be like, I'll just come pick it up and I'll, you know, stay with you at your house. But yeah, so that's a cool I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm watching it, like, I don't know how I would fit on his podcast, but because I'm like, I see what he covers a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, and drug addiction, because he was also a drug addict too, and he ended up going to prison
guy.
he went to prison for murdering the guy who raped him.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a crazy story. And now he's like, you know, a motivational speaker and all this kind of stuff. But I looked at it and I thought to myself, it's an opportunity. It's just it's an opportunity to tell my story. It's an opportunity to get out there. And you know, and I do actually, ironically, I don't tell a lot of people, but I do have a little bit of that abuse and things like that from my childhood. So I do have things that, you know, that I could share absolutely that relate to what he's talking about.
Even
And
if you
probably,
didn't, you've still got the sight loss journey, which in
yeah.
itself
So
is not exactly a barrel of laughs.
no, right. It's still, yeah, it's still,
Very impacting.
you and I have a different mindset about it. So that's why we don't look at it the way a lot of people in our groups do. You know, as sad and, oh, I got this, and you know, and is there a cure yet? I've never looked at it that way.
No, but I acknowledge it's been a huge pain in the ass, and I would
'Cause-
rather have not gone through it.
Oh no, but the one thing I thought about,
I just don't let it dominate me. That's
and I thought about this though, it started from me as soon as I got diagnosed, because I remember the moment where I knew it was RP, when I was coming back from the basketball court, and it was like I was about I know the exact moment. I was about halfway down the street. I was about halfway down the street. And that was when I was kind of going, oh, it's like you know, I was like, it's really, you know, like I'm not seeing, it's too dark. I'm not seeing how I normally do. And it just clicked right in my head. And I was like, I know exactly what this is.
wow.
I didn't say, oh no, I've got RP.
Was it more a bit of an understanding? Were you like, oh, I kind of
That's
get
it.
this? This
No, it was just literally because like because I knew the symptoms of RP. I knew, you know, from being my mom's guy all growing up and stuff. So I knew that the first thing was my mom always told me the first thing was your night vision goes. So as soon as like I just remember,
you never told me this before.
no, I know the exact moment. I can remember the exact moment standing in the street and as I'm, you know, drove my ball back, coming back home, and I'm just like almost back to the house, and I'm just like, yeah, I was like, oh shoot, like I'm struggling a little bit to see. I know what this is. And that's when I told my mom, when I got, you know, the next day I told my mom I should probably, you know, go get tested because I think I have RP. So it was like, but I didn't react. It dawned on me that I've never reacted. Oh no, I'm going blind. I never had that. I never had that thought. I can't understand anybody who's ever had that thought. That's the funny thing about me. It's tough for me to really not empathetic, but it's tough for me to not, because I've never been like, scared. It wasn't, my first thought was just, I know what this is. I know I have RP. That's it.
That's wild.
That's all it was. It was just simple. Just, I will go when I get home. Like tomorrow, when it's morning, I'll let my mom know that I need to go get tested because I'm pretty sure that this is what I have.
Wow.
Like, it just, at 14 years old, just be like, yep, I know what this is.
That's wild.
You know? So,
oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well,
guys,
we talked about a lot of subjects, but we did bring it back to RP just for the end. That was quite.
Dave, we got you. We bring it right back on around here, guys. Well, you enjoy your tea time, dude.
Thank you very much.
Whatever you're having this time.
No idea what we're having actually, but I am
Well, we know with Anna around, Lisa, you're not. It's not coming out of a box for you, you
Nope.
know, because if you're by yourself, usually it's whatever you can
Oh yeah, normally
figure
it's
out,
just whatever.
like pizza,
It's
whatever.
whatever can be nuked in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell Chaps I said hi and bye and hope she's doing well.
Lovely, brilliant. All right, well, have a great day, Tubes, and I'll
Later,
speak to you
guys.
in